Hey, how's it going? This is Justin Gilman with Quantum Leads, and today I'll be walking through your digital marketing attack plan to show you how you can turn your website into a lead generation machine and really generate some revenue for your business month over month. Now, if you take a look at the top here, we're looking at AC Repair in Houston, which generates about 1,600 searches every single month. Now, like I said, there's a lot more volume out there when you think about other search terms such as AC installation, AC repair near me. However, for the sake of this video, we're just going to be focusing on these 1,600 searches and showing you how you could turn those into revenue for your business. So let's start with your website. Your website, specifically your air conditioning AC repair page. And if we scroll down here, I think you have a very visually aesthetic website. However, from an SEO perspective, there's a lot that we're going to have to improve on if we want people to be able to find our website online. So let's start with internal search engine optimization, which is essentially just all the different ways that we can improve your website from within inside your website itself. Now, normally when you hear that, you're going to hear things like title tags, heading tags, local business schema. And while those are all very important, for the sake of this video, we are just going to be talking about content and keywords. Now, content and keywords are the two most important aspects of internal SEO. So let's start with content. Why is content so important? Well, content is very important because the more content we have, the more things we give users to engage with. And the more a user has to engage with, the better of an experience they'll have, and they'll be more likely to come back to your website or to use Google for future searches. So it makes sense that Google would promote a website that promotes that positive user experience. Now, normally, I like to recommend about 750 to 1,000 words on any given page. Obviously, you could build out a lot more than that. However, I like to recommend that because that's a content-full website that doesn't sacrifice its visual aesthetic. I know a lot of people think a lot of content can be overwhelming to a user, and while that's true, 750 to 1,000 words is that golden range. Now, you're probably saying, well, Justin, why don't I just throw up a website with 5,000 words and call it a day? And while that sounds like a great idea, the reason it doesn't work is because we need to make sure that our content remains relevant. And the way that we do that is with our keywords. Keywords are the most used words or phrases on a website. And based on these keywords, we are going to tell Google what our business is about. So normally I like to tell people we want to answer three main questions for Google with our keywords. Number one being what industry are we in? Number two being where do we do business or what's our location? Number three being who are we or what is our brand? So let's take a look at your keywords and see if they answer those three main questions for Google. On a tool I use called Keywords Everywhere, and if we scroll down here, we're going to notice your most used keywords. I'm only going to focus in on the first 5 to 6 keywords. However, always feel free to further optimize. Now you have heating at number one, which isn't a bad one. However, I would recommend putting air at number one. You're going to see when we take a look at some of your competitors that that's the more popular keyword in your industry. And then number two, I always recommend putting some sort of modifier to the first keyword. So if we have air at number one, we'd probably want to put installation or repair at number two. In this case, most likely repair. Now, number three and four, I always recommend location-based keywords. The reason we want our location in our keywords is because it's going to tell Google exactly where we do business and really help them drive local traffic to our website. So it's super important that we have not only our city in there, but also our state in there. Now, number 5 and 6, I always recommend putting your brand in there. A lot of people don't like to put their brand in there. However, I always recommend it just because not always are we going to find searches through AC Repair in Houston. Some people are going to look up our business directly by name. So when that happens, we want to make sure that our business appears for those searches. So definitely something to think about. And just to recap here, we have 1 and 2, industry-specific keywords, 3 and 4, location-based keywords, and 5 and 6, branding-based keywords. Now let's take a look at one of your competitors and see what they're doing as far as content and keywords go. So here we have Airtex of Houston, and they are the number one organically ranking company in the Houston area for AC repair. And let's see why. So first off, you're going to notice that this page has a ton of content on it. In fact, there's no really images or anything until you get down here to the footer. But for the sake of anything, the first page is really just all content. So like I said, we really want to focus on being a content-full website, and you see that they're reaping the benefits of that. So let's take a look at their keywords to see how relevant this content really is. So once again, we're back to keywords everywhere. And if we scroll down, you'll see that they have air at number one. Like I said, very popular keyword amongst your peers. Then they immediately went to that location-based keyword. Like I said, you didn't have that location-based keyword in there. We really want to put that in there. That way Google knows exactly where we do business and can drive us local traffic. Then they put service, home, location. So a few other industry-specific keywords. However, I would recommend further optimizing. Like I said, use this list as a guide for your keywords. However, don't exactly take these keywords or this keyword list because it's not fully optimized. So kind of mix and match this with the suggestions I gave you to create the strongest keywords list possible. However, let's go back to your website and talk about external search engine optimization and how it ties into everything. So now we're talking about external search engine optimization, which is essentially all the ways that we can improve your website from off-site. Now, in this case, we'll be talking about backlinking, which is very simple at face value, just a link from one website to another. However, from an SEO perspective, a lot more is going on. When you get a backlink from another website, they are essentially saying that they trust the information coming from your website or they trust the website that is representing your business. So, definitely a big thing to do, and it can favor yourself in the eyes of Google because Google takes those references and can move your ranking accordingly if they deem you as a more trustworthy business. So, definitely a very powerful thing to do in the SEO world. However, we have to walk a very fine tightrope because just like a quality link can tell Google that we are a trustworthy website, a bad link can tell Google that we are a harmful or spammy website. It can really affect our ranking. So, to give you an example of a harmful website or harmful link, I should say, normally I see people go on Fiverr and buy $50 worth of links. They get 10,000 links, and their site immediately crashes 50 spots, and that's no mistake because ultimately, that's 10,000 references telling Google that you are also a harmful or spammy site. So, really want to focus in on quality links for our website. Let's go to a tool I have called Ahrefs and take a look at the current links your website has. So here we are in Ahrefs, and you'll notice your website generates an 18 UR, a 26 DR, puts you in the top 100 for 34 keywords, but generates you zero traffic and about $17 month over month. So not the greatest metrics, but let's break these down a little bit further. Now, UR stands for URL rating, and what that is the power given to an individual page. So in this case, we're just looking at your AC repair page, which generates an 18 UR. Now, DR, on the other hand, stands for domain rating, and what that is the power that goes through your entire website. So, not just your AC repair page anymore, but your home page, all of your service pages, your About Us page, all those are summarized in DR. However, before we move on to the next page, I want to talk about traffic value. Traffic value is a very important stat because what it tells you is the buyer intent of each user that comes to your website. Obviously, you don't have a consistent amount of traffic, but the traffic that you do have generates a 17 traffic value. And this is based, like I said, on the buyer intent of the keywords that they come from. So, to give you an example, somebody who looks for ACs doesn't carry as much buyer intent as somebody looking for AC repair. And now the reason that is because somebody looking for ACs might be looking for, a blog article on ACs, maybe a picture of ACs. So you don't really know exactly what they're looking for. Whereas somebody looking for AC repair, 9 times out of 10 is looking to purchase a direct service. So a lot more buyer intent from AC repair and AC installation rather than just ACs. So let's take a look at your competitors and see what they're doing as far as external SEO is going and how much value they're creating for their business. So here we have AirTex of Houston, and once again, they have that strong internal SEO. So when you combine that with the strong external SEO, which you see here with a 33 UR, a 35 DR, you start to see some crazy traffic value where they have upwards of almost $62,000 month over month in traffic value. So a lot of value here if you can maximize your internal and external SEO structures. But let's keep working our way down the line here and look at another competitor. We have Abacus Plumbing and AC Repair. So they have a 26 UR, a 46 DR, brings them about 485 users every single month, and a traffic value of roughly $18,000. So definitely, like I said, a lot of value here if you can properly carry out your internal and external SEO structures. But let's go back to the Google search engine results page and talk about the Google Map Pack for a second. What I've been talking about in this video is down below here in the organic search results. However, if we scroll back up here, we also have this map pack here, and this is the Google Map Pack, and it's very important because it essentially gives you a second place that you can win on Google. Like I said, you can win down below in the organic search results, or you can get the #1 spot in this map pack. And if you can do both, you guarantee that 1,600 people see your business first before looking at another competitor every single month. So a lot of potential here. To get into the map pack, we first have to verify our business via postcard with Google, which is 100% free. But to rank in the map pack, we have to adhere to the different factors that they're looking for. So #1, what they look for is a filled out GMB form to 100%. The reason I say 100% is because the more information you give them, the more reputable your business looks. #2, they look for a strong organic ranking, which is why SEO is so important, because not only does it influence the organic search results, but it also influences the Google Map Pack. And number three, what they look for is citations. Now, citations are all the different places your business's name, address, and phone number are listed online. Some popular citations are things like Yelp, Yellow Pages, Facebook, Instagram. Those are all citations you can get for your business. But let's take a look at how many citations each of these companies has and take a look at how many citations you'll need in order to go in and start outranking them. So here we are in a tool I use called Whitespark, and you'll notice that we have Richmond's Air with 15 citations, ASAP Air with 59, and H-Town Repair with 25. Now, I normally recommend doubling the biggest amount in here, so if there's 59, we're going to need 118 citations to really go in and outrank this company, along with a strong internal and external SEO structure. Now, the reason I say that we need all of those is because, like I said, you cannot skip steps. Otherwise, you end up with something like this, where you're a company with more citations, but you're getting outranked by somebody with a lot less. And like I said, that happens because they are skipping steps along the way, and we really don't want to do that. Otherwise, we'll end up just like them. However, like I said, if you do all that, you should see some positive results for your business. And that's all I really have for you in this video. Once again, my name is Justin Gilman with Quantum Leads. I'd love to set up a meeting with you guys to talk about anything that wasn't mentioned in this video for the sake of time, or to talk about any questions or concerns you have about this video. So feel free to push that button in the email to set up a meeting with us. But once again, thanks for watching, and I hope this was very helpful for you guys.